It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome, welcome. It's the Jill on Money Show. It's the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life. We answer your financial questions, and we're going to start with Lisa and Jason, who join us from Idaho. Hello, you two. How are you?
We're doing well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, of course. What can we do for you guys?
We need some advice. I'm at a point in my professional career where I have become a partner with my company, but one of my partners, there are three of us, is retiring, and I need to buy out his portion.
Wait. Stand by. So you are an equity partner. Did you have to put money up to become a partner?
I did not, actually. It was something it was gifted. It was earned.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So right now there are three partners, including you, or there's four of you?
There's three, including me.
Okay. And one is retiring, and the two remainers have to buy out number one. Yes?
Correct. And the company is kind of twofold, where the business side I have already paid. I've already paid that portion of it, but there's a real estate side where we own the building. And so
this dude wants to off the note. He's like, take me out of the building. Okay.
Take me out.
Wait a second. Stand by for 1 second. How old are you, Lisa?
47.
7.
I
Okay.
had to think about that.
I love it. Jason, how old are you?
I'm 49.
Lisa, you have been with this partnership as an employee for how many years? And then how long has it been since you've been a partner?
I've been part of the company for 22 years.
Oh, okay. So you feel confident, you understand the business, you feel confident about the business, which is why this is all good for you, right?
Yes.
Jason, are you working also?
I am, yes.
And kids or no kids?
2 kids.
How old?
11 and 13.
You have a hard time with the ages, don't you, Lisa?
I do.
She had to do the math. I heard it. I heard the calculation. It's great. Okay. So how did you pay for the business side of the partnership? Did you just take like any distribution and put it towards buying the partner out?
Correct.
Okay. And so what was the total amount paid for that? So what is the value of the partner, the business side of the partnership?
Oh my goodness sakes. It was hundreds of thousands.
Many hundreds, thousands. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the building, are you guys the only occupants of the building, or is there other income associated with it?
We have some other small tenants in there as well too. It's like a business incubator for them.
Okay.
It doesn't. Yeah. It's not like a high yield giant building. It's a small building and a small company.
Okay, I got it. The company rents the space from the partnership, which owns the building. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, are there just two people who own the building and are on the mortgage?
There's the three of us.
Oh, so you are on the lease.
Correct.
How much is the building worth?
The building is worth $611,000.
How about if I call it 610? You know, I don't like those extra thousands. Is there a mortgage outstanding?
No, we paid cash.
So you guys have to come up with $200,000 to buy out this guy and $100 each?
Because I'm a minority partner in that portion of it, I owe a little over $250,000.
Wait, what?
Like to buy him out.
I don't understand. The building is worth $600,000. Don't you you own what percent right now? 20%? Like, what's your percentage ownership?
Right. That's the tricky part. I only own 8%.
When you joined as a partner, were you made aware of this?
Of what?
That you were going to have to pay out this guy?
No.
So this is not in your partnership agreement. Like, hey, by the way, you're on the hook to buy me out, right?
Right.
I'm going hard on this, Mark. Wait till you see me go like all full on Sicilian about this right now, because I'm protective of my Lisa.
Thank you.
Because that's a lot of money.
It is. It has been. Yes.
You and your remaining partner, can you give us an idea, like what is your relationship like?
We're like family.
Okay. And the guy who's retiring, also like family?
Yes.
Doesn't seem like a very familiar relationship right now. Okay. What happens if you don't buy him out?
We would have to relocate the business. We would probably have to sell.
Why? What is the other way? You own 8%. Your current, let's call it, can you just give me like make up a name for the current partner, the person who you're going to own the business with?
William.
William owns what percentage of the building?
46.
Oh, you know what's funny? I add 46 and 8 and I get more than 50%.
Okay. See?
Why do you have to move the business?
Well,
in other words, is this dude who's retiring holding a gun to your head saying, I want out? Or is he saying like, I'd really like to be bought out?
I would say it's probably a little more forceful, where he's had some issues and he needs to be bought out. And so we were able to buy the portion of the business side of it, but the real estate is something where the business will still be okay. We could sell the land under it and just everyone takes their portion of it, but
or you could do nothing.
That's
like
true.
Lisa, is this something that you really want to do? You really want to pursue this? This is what you want, or do you feel like you're being forced into it?
It's something that is good. Real estate where we are is a good investment, and so I'm not upset about it. It's just the timing of it is abrupt, and so I feel like I just only have a short window of time to come up with a large amount of money.
All right, let's talk about what else is going on, and then
so I'm open to it.
Okay,
I'm seeing
I
it
get
as
that.
an opportunity.
Right. Okay, I get that, and I understand all of this. Are you and William similar age? Like, is William also in the 40s, or is William older than you?
He's about 10 years older than I.
Okay, so 50s, and then retiree Scrooge McTiree. How old is he?
69, maybe 65.
Okay, so he's much older. I get it now. Okay, let's see since you would like to do it, let's talk about how we can make this better for you guys. So, Lisa, how much do you earn right now?
Between the two of us as our household income?
Yeah.
Last year we cleared 200,000 between the two of us.
So that included the distributions you had as well, which really made up your capital contributions, or is that 200,000 of just like that's our week to week payroll?
That's distributions as well.
200 all in.
Yeah, obviously the distributions will increase now that Lisa owns more of a percentage. She owns 50% of the. Before she only owned 10.
20.
So,
okay.
Yeah,
20.
20. Okay, great. How's your cash flow on that 200,000 a year with your two kitties?
Right now, our expenses are about $8,500 a month, so we're pushing 100,000. So we're able to save and invest a lot of that.
You're listening to the Jill on Money Show, and we'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We're answering your financial questions. Let's get back to Jason and Lisa from Idaho. How have you saved for retirement so far?
So we've got a few retirement accounts through Edward Jones. We've got both of us have traditional 401ks as well as Roths that we max out, as well as we put in money into a joint account, a taxable brokerage account, about $750 a month into there. And we've got over $125,000 into that.
And in the 401ks, what's the value?
Our 401k value for Lisa's Roth is 48,000. My Roth is 75,000. Lisa's, she's got a SEP IRA of 26,000 that just got started 2 years ago. She's got that traditional of 48.
48 in, wait, are you saying in the Roth? Because you said our Roths, you said Lisa 48, you were 75. Those are
Yes,
Roths
that's
or
correct.
the, okay. And then the traditional is, you got 26 in the SEP. And then do you use a traditional retirement account as well, Jason?
I do. I put money into a 401k at work, and that's got 78,000 in it.
Okay,
as
so
well as I have a
78.
pension.
You have a pension. What's the
Yes.
pension amount? What will that be?
At retirement age, it'll be 2,800 a month,
That's nice. Okay.
and that's in 10 years.
Okay, great. What about the kids? Are you saving for college?
We are. We have 529s for both of them that are give or take 50,000 apiece.
And are you putting money into those accounts on an ongoing basis?
We put in lump sums every now and then.
What else do I need to know? How about your house? What's your house worth?
Our house is worth about 950,000.
Yowza. And do
We
you have a
have-
mortgage that's outstanding?
We do. Our mortgage is about 190.
And the interest rate?
It's 1.99
Oh, gosh. Stay there forever.
on a 15. It's on a 15-year mortgage.
That's okay. I forgive you. What about money in the bank?
Okay, we've got a high yield savings account at Cap One for about 180,000.
Wow. Okay.
Checking account with 15,000 in it. We've got various taxable brokerages. I've got a Robinhood account with 70,000.
Oh, what's in there?
A mixture of ETFs, VOOs in there. I've got some VCI.
Is that different than your so that 70,000 is different than that joint brokerage account with 125,000, right?
Yes.
That's correct. We've also got a couple inherited IRAs that we're pulling money out of every year.
Okay. How much are the inherited IRAs worth?
We've got one IRA that's about 140,000, and we've got two annuities.
Are they
that are in there.
annuitized or are they just as a cash value? In other words, are you getting money every month or are they just a lump sum that's in there?
Yeah, there's a lump sum. We haven't had any disbursements. We inherited those about 5 years ago.
So you're not subject to the 10-year rule for those, or you are?
I believe we are.
I believe we are, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We just haven't done anything with them.
So we have 5 years to go, though. The clock is ticking on
Yes.
those.
So that was another
And what-
question that we had for you is what should we do with those two annuities?
Well, I
one
have
has
an idea.
270,000 in it, and the other one has 145.
All right. So we have money. And the inherited IRAs that at the 140, same time frame, like 5 years to go to get the money out, or are those, have you been taking money out of those?
We've been taking money out, but it's been growing, so it's stayed about the balance has stayed the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there any reason to believe that this year, this 2025, that what your income is going to be for this year? In other words, Lisa, do you think now at this point you're going to start making more and more and more money every year?
That's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah,
okay.
it's a market driven. So, obviously we'll see, but
Okay. Any other assets we should know about? Any rental properties, little cabin by the something or other by the ski slopes
We
in
do.
Idaho?
We've got a couple bare land properties that are total value of about 500,000, and then we've got a little rental that we have about a $100,000 stake in that we partner with another.
The land, is it earmarked for something specifically?
no,
You just bought it like a while ago and your cost basis is really low?
a very long time ago.
We've had it about 20
right-
years.
Yeah, right out of college.
What's the cost basis on that bare land?
Oh, just honestly, something like $35,000.
Stop it.
Yes, that's
Good
why
Lord.
we.
All right, we're
it
not
was-
selling that right now. Don't worry.
No, and it's worth what, 350.
He just said 500.
Well, we've got
We have two.
Sorry.
Oh gosh. Okay, 350 to 350 and then another one. You have two pieces of property.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. All right. So those are all the assets, right?
We've got one. We've got a house in Oregon that we've inherited half of.
And is there anybody in that house?
No one's in the house. The house is paid off, and that's worth total about $550,000. So,
what are we doing with that?
We're figuring out with siblings.
Oh God, you got a lot of negotiations going on, Lisa.
We're complicated right now, and that's why
I know.
we value you understanding this and asking questions.
Okay. All right.
So it feels like we have money. We just don't know.
Yeah. You got plenty of money. Okay. How do you want this to just go away with your now former partner? Do you want to just make it go away? Because we can make it go away. You just tell me what you want to do. Do you feel like, yes, I just want this to be done?
Well, twofold. I actually would like on the business real estate side for it to be a seed for me I want to invest into this parcel that my office is on.
Okay, that's fine. So that's a priority, right?
It is.
The thing is the retiring partner, what's the time horizon? Like, does this have to happen in 1 year? Like this year? It would be better for you if we could spread it out over 2 years, if that's possible. But if it's not, we can make it happen in 1 year. Like, how contentious do you want this to get?
He would really like for it to. He would like to walk away with a lump sum check in a month. But
in a month, okay,
like that. However, he said if I need to spread it out, then that's fine. But I would owe him 5%.
Oh my God, I almost said something so bad on this air that I have not said in a while. So, Mark, you can imagine what I was just thinking about. If that's the case, if he wants his money up front, I think the best thing to do would be to do sort of a combination of taking some of the money out of the annuities, okay, and some of the money out of your high yield checking. Because we know this annuity money has to come out within 5 years, right? And what I think is important about that is both the annuity and the inherited IRA. We've got 5 years to get it out, but it doesn't really seem like, your tax situation is going to, change too much. So what I'd like to be able to do is maybe I would take out money from like the 100, these annuities. Did the person at Edward Jones sell those to your parents or whoever died?
They're not through Edward Jones, but
okay.
Yes.
So somebody sold that to them, right?
Yes, they're a non-qualified annuity.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would say is we have to get rid of we have to pull the money out within 5 years. So the easiest thing that I think to do would be to take enough money out of that annuity to keep you guys in the 24% bracket this year. And chances are your tax situation is going to be at least as bad, if not worse, going forward. You're going to keep making more money. So if this year you're going to make $200,000, we're going to try to pull out from the annuity this year, that $145,000 annuity that's still outstanding, cash that in. Now that's going to add to your tax liability. I get it. That 145 plus whatever you need from the high yield checking is the check that you hand over to your retiring partner. If you have a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. It's the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. Let's finish up with Jason and Lisa. The person that you are working with at Edward Jones, do you like this person? Do you not like this person? You have to be honest with me.
Well, we do like the person. It's a small town. But yeah, we didn't start with him until we inherited all of this, the IRAs and
There's a lot of cleanup to be done in your financial lives. It sounds like you work really hard. You've got busy lives. You got kids. There needs to be an overriding strategy. And I think the strategy needs to be we have a 5-year clock that is ticking on a bunch of money. Let's make that a priority, that we're going to take that money out every year for the next 5 years. We're going to spread it out and start taking the money out. Like the person who is helping you with this, we should have been taking money out for the past 5 years while you were still making less money. You know what I mean? Because then you were in a lower bracket. We are where we are. So we want to take out enough money to keep you in the 24% bracket for as long as possible. If you have a bonanza year, you're not going to be able to do it. So that's the priority right now. So I think for today, we know that if you take, 145 out now, and what's the state income tax in Idaho? Is there one?
Yeah, there's an income tax.
If you can, let's just say that out of the 145, you can clear 125, take 125 out of your high yield checking account, and theirs is 250. Goodbye. Bye. Don't invite him to Christmas. Okay. Done with this dude. And then next year, we need to continue to take money out of the annuity and the inherited IRAs. I would focus on the annuities first. Those are expensive, complicated products. You don't need them. Okay. Not good for you guys. Any money that grows in those annuities is growing, and you have to pull it out and pay. You don't get capital gains treatment. It's ordinary income. So every time that grows, it's bad for you guys.
So every year when we do pull that money out of those annuities, every year after this, where do you recommend we put that?
So very good. So next step, we got to clean up your stuff. You got too much stuff floating all over the place. So that Robinhood account and the joint brokerage, pick one place to do some business. Have one joint account and hold all the assets that are taxable account. Pick a place. I'm happy if you pick Fidelity because it sounds like that's all you need, or Vanguard or Schwab.
We have a Vanguard.
So I would consolidate everything in Vanguard. Okay. So the joint brokerage, is that where the brokerage is held now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Move the Robinhood account into the joint brokerage account. Just move it into one account. Any other accounts you have, just try to consolidate in one place to manage it more effectively. Okay. So now, as the money comes out of those annuities, as the money comes out of the inherited IRAs, goes into your joint brokerage, and you can fund your 529. Because your kids are old already, 11 and 13. Lisa, they're 11 and 13. So we got to put money into these accounts. So the money that comes out, let's just say that next year, let's say we take out 145 this year. Let's say next year you can take out 150,000 from the annuity. You pay the tax that's due, whatever's left. You got to put a chunk of money in these 529 accounts. You have to actually fund them, and you have plenty of money to pay. But I would do brokerage, like essentially for every dollar that comes out, I would probably say you should put 50% in the brokerage account and then 25 on the 529 accounts. Meaning, if you had 100,000 net, 50 grand in the brokerage, 25 grand into each of the 529 accounts.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sounds amazing.
Oh my God, she's feeling relief. Relief. Okay.
I wanted to say we do like our financial advisor, but we value your guys' opinions, and we love the show, and we wanted to come on, so we wanted a second opinion. So
all right. So I'm not throwing the dude under the bus. I'm really not. I'm just saying that I just want consolidation more than anything else, because it's much easier for you to manage your lives in one organization. That's the way it goes. And we're going to get rid of these inherited IRAs. We're going to get rid of your annuities. Again, we have 5 years to do it. It's all very good, by the way. You have this, just in terms of like where you guys are, you'll have this money coming out. You'll have continue to contribute to the brokerage account. You'll continue to contribute to the 529s. Those are like your priorities, right? You'll own your building. You'll own the business building. Then I think the next area of maybe focus should be, well, we have our house. We love our house. We're staying in our house. Yes. I think the next question is like, what are you doing with these two pieces of property? Is there some reason to sell or not sell? I'm not going to really focus on the partnership on the rental property because it sounds like, you're in it with someone else. But I think you've got 3 assets that are worth $1 million. 2 pieces of land and that house in Oregon. And so at some point, we know that you have, this $1 million that is available but it's not available to you if it's sitting there uninvested and not doing anything. So it may be that you say to yourselves, hey, you know what we're going to do? 1 year we're going to sell one piece of the bare land. 1 year we're going to try to do, like, you shouldn't do it all at once because you're just going to get hammered tax wise. So maybe in the next, like, after you get the money out of these inherited IRAs and the annuities and the inherited annuities, you start thinking about, what do we do next? You need to get a little bit more liquid. From a liquidity standpoint, it's pay us first, pay the kids second. Us first, kids second. Because remember, we're using this annuity money, we're buying a piece of property, so that adds to your illiquid investments. So then over time, I need you to sort of liquefy other stuff to make up for that, because you're over-indexed right now in real estate, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But otherwise, I mean, you got a ton of money. It's just a question of managing this and this process. I can't emphasize enough that when you have all of these things floating around in one story, it's really good to have a quarterback of your financial life with whom you can work. And if your Edward Jones rep is that person, fantastic. But you guys should be having an overall game plan, which everyone's executing. You can't be expected to come up with a game plan and execute it. So maybe after this conversation, you see what the Ed Jones person thinks about this, and he or she thinks. If you feel confident that they have your back and you want to keep working with them, fine. I'm just going to ask you one thing. I will be on bent knee and beg you. Please do not purchase another insurance product from anybody. No annuity, no whole life, no nothing. Can you promise me that?
We promise.
It's the Jill on Money Show, and we'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are trying to take the mystery out of your financial life. If you've got a question, just go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll do the rest. Let's take an email. This is from Marcia, who writes, subject, tanking economy. Oh boy, that's already getting off on a grim foot. We're 75 and 80 years old, and we are already retired, and we don't have time for the market to recover. We're scared to death and keep telling our senators that. What's going to happen to us? All right, Marcia, I wonder if Marcia is invested or not. I mean, the economy's not yet tanking. It's kind of weird because all of this feels like it could be bad, but it may not be bad. So, Marcia, what I would try to do is focus on, where's your money coming from? Are you getting Social Security? Do you have money in the bank? Is that paying for your needs? And if that's the case, everything else in the background is noise. If you have investments, is it a small percentage of your total that's invested? If so, maybe you can kind of drown out a lot of the drama and let things be. If you have specific worries because, maybe your money is allocated in too risky a fashion, get back in touch with us. Mark and I are going to hold your hand and we'll figure out how to make this better for you. Okay? Now, this is a good question. I've been getting this. This is from Natalie. Is now a good time to increase my Roth conversions? Okay, Natalie writes, I'm thinking about what to do in this economic downturn. I'm wondering whether stepping up Roth conversions, time-wise and dollar amount, might be a smart move. This way, if or when, well, say when, the market finally rebounds, the growth would be tax-free. I love this idea so much, Natalie. So Natalie says, for the past few years, I've converted to the top of the 12% married filing jointly bracket, and it's been about 60 grand. I'm wondering whether I should do more this year while the market is low. And additionally, we normally wait until the end of the year to get a more precise number, but I'm wondering whether we should aim to make a first pass at a conversion earlier in the year while the market is low. Optimistic me, assuming it will eventually rebound. So, Mark, should Natalie try to take advantage of the crummy circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, why not? This is one of the things that we spoke about recently. Times like this, there's usually some opportunities, and this is one of them.
Oh, yes. And I love this idea, and I love the idea that people are trying to be opportunistic. So this is a great way to potentially supercharge those Roth conversions. Of course, make sure you've got the money to pay for it outside of retirement. I know you know that, but I'm just saying it just in case. Brian says, hello, I just started to listen to your show. I'm 65 years old and retired. I've got $550,000 in my 401k. I receive $3,000 a month in Social Security and pension. My house is paid off, as are my cars. I'm single. I've got no debt. I've gone through a bunch of slowdowns and downturns in the market, but this time I'm really worried what I should do with my money. Should I ride it out? I know it's the $1 million question. I need to hear from an expert. I would appreciate any help. Okay, Brian, this is just like the email we just tackled, in that when you have money that is invested, like this $550,000, I want you to think about how it's invested, because sometimes people don't even look at the account. They're just looking at the headlines and they freak out. So I want to know, how is the money invested? Is the money all in stocks, all in bonds, a little bit of this, a little bit of that? So we need to know what the allocation is. Second thing, good thing to remember, you're not really, it doesn't sound like you're really touching this 401k right now. You've got time. You've got another 10 years before the government's going to force you to start taking money out of your 401k. And so in some respects, you've got that the first time that you're going to really force to withdraw would be when you reach your required minimum distribution age of 75. But even that, you are investing for decades in the future. You could live another 30 years. So hopefully you have an allocation that can see you through all of those ups and downs. Again, gang, if you're really worried, I want you to come on the air with us so we can hold your hands directly. I think that would be helpful for everybody. Okay. This is from letter N. N says, okay, the year-end 2024 401k balance was up so much that my 2025 required minimum distribution is the highest it's ever been. This is a wild question, Mark. You know that? I really forgot about this. This is a very unique circumstance, but it happens from time to time. But it is unique, where your balance is really high at the end of 24, which means every required minimum distribution is based on your December 31st balance. And so that's how the government figures it out, based on your life expectancy. Okay. What happens if my 401k balance, which is tied to stocks, drops by so much by the time my RMD is paid that there's not enough money left to meet the 401k RMD amount? I usually take my RMD in December. Should I take it now before it's wiped out by the market? What does he mean by that, Mark?
There's no way. There's no way. I mean, I don't know any of the balances, but if this account was at an all-time high, and I can't imagine it's going to zero.
It's not going to go to zero. I still think you should try to stick to your game plan of taking the RMD, unless you say, I am going to pull out my, I would wait till December, but unless you're like, hey, maybe I'll convert some of it, then that might be good, but that doesn't satisfy your RMD anyway. I don't think I would alter my game plan based on this. We don't know. It's like a long time before the end of the year, right? I don't think it makes sense. Jill on Money will be right back. You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and it feels like we're kind of all catch our collective breaths after such a huge amount of news has hit over the last few weeks, even months. So if something's going on in your financial life, something's going on in your real life, or you don't understand how the news cycle actually impacts your life, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com. click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and of course, if you'd like to join us live, all you need to do is check the box, and we would be happy to arrange to get you on the air live with us. Before we finish up the hour, how about an email? This is from Bobby, who watches CBS Mornings and obviously has been seeing me on the air quite a bit with all the market gyrations. But Bobby would like to have a deeper conversation about what people in their 70s and 80s should be doing during these uncertain times with their money. And I think if we take a step back, it's all about how are you managing your money based on what your needs are. So whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, if you knew that you needed a certain amount of money from your investments within the next 12 or 18 months, you could not possibly put that money at risk. So let's make this a realistic scenario. Let's say you and your husband, who are in their 80s, know that every year you need $25,000 from your portfolio to live on. I would suggest, and I always have suggested, that you keep that year's worth of your needs, maybe it's 2 years worth of your needs, in cash. Of course, the downside of doing that is when the markets are going up, you're not making as much money. But as long as you are keeping the money that you have to get out of that portfolio, out of the risky assets, whether it's bonds or stocks, you should be okay. With the rest of your money, especially if you are older and you can't sustain a lot of losses, you can't be as aggressive. I hope that helps you out, Bobby. And if you want more specific advice about what you and your husband should be doing, get back in touch with us. If you have a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us that note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the box because Mark will do everything else. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are trying to help you make better or sometimes just less bad financial decisions. If there's something going on in your life, or if you're really unnerved by all the different news and the gyrations in the markets, get in touch with us. Don't carry that on your own. Go to JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button in the upper right-hand corner. Write us that note. And if you'd like to join us on the air live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. Mark does a great job with that. And also, check out our 2 podcasts. One is called Jill on Money, and the other one is called Money Watch. You can get us 7 days a week between those 2 programs. All of the links are on the website. You can also check out our subscription service, which costs $45 for the next 12 months. You'll get 4 quarterly webinars. You'll have access to bonus audio, video content, and our entire back catalog. Jill on Money Live is what it's called. Right now, let's talk to James, who's on the line from Georgia. Hi, James. How are you?
Thanks, Jill and Mark. Thank you for having me on. I'm a big fan.
Oh, you're very sweet. What can we do for you? What's going on?
Well, I am a soon-to-be former federal employee. And I just want another set of eyes to ensure that we are doing okay. Our plan is to retire at the end of September. And sometimes I look at the numbers and I know everything adds up, but I have a hard time telling myself that everything is going to be okay.
Okay. All right. That you're not alone. So you took the deal for the early retirement.
I'm actually eligible for the full retirement. I have over 30 years of service.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
58 years old. What I took was they called it the deferred resignation.
Okay.
And so I will get paid just my regular pay through the end of September. And then at that point, I'll retire.
And what will your pension be when you retire?
My pension should be right around $31K a year.
Great. Amazing.
And on top of that, until I'm 62, I'll collect a little over 13K a year in the FERS, what's called the FERS supplement.
Okay. So you get 4 years of 13 grand a year, basically.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Got it. And you said a we. Is there a married person with you?
There certainly is.
Okay. And tell me about does your spouse work right now?
Yes, she does.
Okay. How much does she earn?
She makes about $65,000 a year.
And is she going to retire with you at the end of September, or she's going to keep going?
She's going to keep going probably for another year.
Okay. In addition to your pension, do you have a deferred comp? Do you have something that's in the thrift savings plan?
I do.
Okay. What's in there?
So in the thrift savings plan, I have right now about $645,000.
And is that all traditional?
Almost all of it. There's 43,000 is in the Roth.
Okay. Any other old retirement funds that are floating around for you? I'll get to your wife in a second.
Sure. Yeah, there are some other funds floating around out there.
What you got?
I have 62,000 in a rollover IRA, and that's
Okay.
of course that's traditional. At 62, I'll actually start collecting another small pension from when I used to work for a municipality. That's going to be about $6,300 a year.
Coffee money.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good.
And also, I have a very small. I have 66 grand. I'm sorry, not grand. I have 6,600 in a inherited IRA that predates the new rules. So,
So you got a stretch. You got a stretch IRA.
yeah, so I
Got
just
it.
take the minimum out every year.
Okay, good. And what about your wife? What's her retirement plan look like?
She has about 124,000 in 401k.
Okay.
24K of that is in Roth. And she also has a rollover, and it's about 140,000.
Oh, okay. Big number there. Will you have health care for life at this point until you get Medicare?
That's correct. And I don't even have to take Medicare if I don't want to. I mean,
You can stay on the plan.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
stay on the plan. But yes, I'll still have, my health insurance, dental, vision.
Great.
I still had to pay for them. I mean, that's,
Yeah. But still, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you have a brokerage account? Do you guys have other money that you have invested?
We do. We have a brokerage account with a little over 25,000 in it.
Okay.
And that's all right now, it's all in a money market fund and in a T-bill ladder.
Is that kind of what you keep as your cash savings, or do you have other stuff that's floating around like CDs or savings accounts also?
No, we have a separate cash savings. We have total about 96,000.
Okay, great.
And that, and about 21 of that's actually in CDs.
Okay, great. You guys own your home?
Yes, ma'am.
I love the ma'am. How much would you guess it's worth?
It's about 400,000.
Is there a mortgage that's outstanding?
Yes, we owe 71,000 on it at 3.675%, I believe.
Okay, great. Do you guys have kids?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Why? A slew of them? 8, 12? How many?
It feels like it sometimes, but no, it's only 2.
How old are they?
My oldest is 26 years old.
Okay.
And my youngest, the second one, is 16 years old.
Okay, so we got a ways to go. 26 is launched on their own?
Ooh, well, she's kind of like one of those SpaceX rockets. They launch it and it comes back.
Okay, well, that's a boomerang kid coming right back to home. And living with you right now?
She is. Hopefully that'll be over with by the end of this year. She just got herself into some bad stuff and had some debt.
We'll get her out.
She's back home, and she's very diligent paying off her debts, so she should be ready to be relaunched by the end of the year.
Great. 16-year-old, high school. Do you guys, are you planning on helping that kid go to college, or is that kid not college bound? What's your reckoning on that?
Oh, no, I think she's definitely college bound. It's going to be an in-state school, of course. And we have 63,000. I'm sorry, not quite 63. We have 60,000
in a 529
for her.
Okay.
And Also, in the state that we live in,
Yeah.
we have a very good scholarship program, and she will be eligible for that too. So that will pay just about all of her tuition.
Great. Phenomenal. I love it. Okay. Mark, make a note that you should move to Georgia. Some of those state plans are really great. So what is it that when you look at your situation objectively, you know how much you spend right now, about just an approximation on a monthly basis? Do you have that number?
Oh, between $5,500 and $6,000 a month.
Let's say 6,000. We'll get back to James in just a minute. If you've got a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. If you want to join us live, just check the box. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. This is the Jill on Money Show. We are trying to help you make sense of your big picture financial life. If you're making a big decision, maybe you're thinking about buying a house and you're scared now that all of the news seems so crazy, or if you need a little hand-holding because the markets have been so volatile and you're feeling like you don't know what to do next, just get in touch with us. All you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. And in the upper right-hand corner of the website, wherever you go on the website, there is a Contact Us button. You click that button, you write us a note. That's the email that we receive. If you would like to join us live, check the box. Mark will do everything else and get you on the air, and it's so great when we can have a conversation with you. Sometimes we have to scratch beneath the surface of the words you write so that we can get to the real issue that's bugging you. So do get in touch with us, and of course, why not bookmark the website? We update and refresh the content all the time, especially that blog section. That's where I write about what's going on, maybe helping you make sense of it along with me. Right now, let's get back to James, who is on the line from Georgia. If you looked at your retirement, your Social Security, full retirement age retirement for each of you, say 67, what is that amount?
I'd have to pull that back up. I plan on taking mine at 70.
Okay, so give me your 70 number.
Okay, well, at 70, I'm at about $45,000 a year.
And she?
And she's going to start hers at 62 because I've made significantly more money than she has over the years. And it just worked out best this way. But she's going to start taking it at 62, and that's going to be about 15,000.
So you're looking at this. You have your 30,000 in your pension. You'll get another 13 grand coming from that supplement. Your wife is going to earn 65. So we know that obviously for, this year and next year, you're fine. And then from there to supplement where you are, where you'll be 50, I guess you'll be either 59 or 60. I don't know when you're turning these ages. Then is your plan to tap the money, I would suggest the money that you have that has not yet been taxed. I'd start taking it out and living on that until you're age 70 Social Security. Is that what you were thinking of?
Not exactly.
Tell me what your thought is.
Well, something I haven't discussed with you, probably should be factored in here, is that at the end of next year, the end of 2026, we plan on moving away.
Oh, goodbye. That was I only met you a few minutes ago. Where are we going?
Probably, we're definitely going to Europe, probably Portugal.
Okay. So, but wait a minute. What about this kid? Kid's going to be in college? Kid's on her own.
Adios.
Bye. Are you going to don't you have to have a residency requirement for the scholarship?
Only she does. I don't. So
you're just really going to bail on this kid? Come on.
Yeah, no, if we move away, as long as my daughter's still going to that state school here in Georgia, she's covered. even if she were to go out of state,
Yeah.
they would pay up to that same amount, that they would pay here in Georgia, wherever she goes. So.
Okay, wait. So the game plan is in a couple of years, sell the house, use that money, move to Portugal?
Pretty much, yes.
Have you researched this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been working on this for about 5 years now.
Okay. So what's it going to cost you to buy a place in Portugal? Can't you just rent?
We're not going to buy. We're going to rent.
Okay, you're going to rent. So you're going to have this extra money. So you paint the picture for me. What is it that you, I mean, obviously you've got a bunch of money, but what are you going to live on? That you're still going to need more money, aren't you? Aren't you going to need to pull money out of your accounts to spend that, that $6,000 a month? Or do you think your actual cost of living will go down in Portugal?
I think it's going to go down a bit because it's just going to be my wife and I, and we're very frugal people. My daughter here, the one that's going to be going to college, with the savings that we've already saved up for her, that should be able to float her along with her scholarship. So we do see it coming down, but any funds that we do need, I've just planned on taking it out of my TSP.
Good. Okay. As long as you do that. I mean, I would pull those. I would definitely pull those. And then you'll end up if you sell the house, you'll have another $300,000 in the brokerage account, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. What's the problem? What can't you see?
Well, to be honest with you, sometimes I just have a hard time accepting that this is all coming true. That I can actually
oh my God. This reminds me of the quote at the end of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka says to Charlie, he says, you know what happened to the boy who got everything he wanted? And Charlie says, no, what? And Willy Wonka says, he lived happily ever after. Can't you just accept that you've done a great job, that you've put your time in, that you were, in this strange situation where, obviously you probably would have just kept working for till you were 62 years old, I presume, and, get your daughter to college. But this thing has happened. It has maybe put the clock up a little bit on the move. You've done your homework. Mark, is there a hole in this plan?
Well, I mean, it's all good. They don't spend a lot of money. They got money saved. They got the pension, the supplement. What happens if daughter who's still living at home, God forbid, in 2 years still hasn't figured it out?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
the relaunch. What happens if we have an abort of the relaunch?
I think she is going to move out. I mean, she's actually already started looking at apartments to kind of get an idea of how much that's going to cost. Mm-hmm. She moved from a very rural part of the state back to where we live, which is sort of in the suburbs.
Before you go, of course, you've got to make sure you've got everything you need to know about whatever health care you would need over there. And also your estate documents have to be really tight. Right? Because if something were to happen to you there, we want to make sure these kids are taken care of. Is there any loose end that we're not seeing? I guess the only other thing is that $300,000 from the sale of the house. I guess I'm wondering if your daughter goes to school in state, could she live home or would she always go live on campus?
If she wants to live home, of course, she would have to pick a school that's close to home.
Yeah. Could she do that?
Yeah, there is one, fairly decent sized university, not that far from here. Mm-hmm. She's just not interested so much in that one. She actually does want to, it sounds horrible, but she does want to move out.
That's not horrible. That's like being a growing young adult. The only reason I was asking that was that I was wondering if there was like a little backstop here where for the first year that you go, maybe you keep the house and the kids, both of them live there and pay you rent.
Ooh, yeah, no.
But it's not a necessary. You don't need the money one way or the other. I'm just saying if you wanted to have a little bit of a little escape hatch just in case. And maybe you just do that maybe for the first year before you go and just sell the house. Maybe you say, oh, let's just keep the house. Maybe we're not going to like it as much. I don't know. I'm trying to respond to Mark's possible scenario where if something didn't go, if something went wrong and didn't go along the game plan, that you would have a place to return to that was a very efficient and cheap place to live, meaning because you have this low interest rate on the mortgage. But, that's maybe something to consider when, a year and a half goes by. You'll have more information at that point, at least.
Yeah, we at least want to get her well into her first semester. And I know that's not very long, but I think if she's going to, want to come back home, let's say, she goes to college, if she realizes, hey, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I don't foresee that happening. But if it were to, hopefully, we'll know while she's still a freshman, and then we can work around that however we need
Okay.
to.
All right. That sounds good to me. I feel comfortable with it. Mark, you're being a very buzzkilly kind of guy right now. I'm surprised.
Just covering the bases. That's all.
Covering our bases. We're covering our bases. All right. Listen, if you need anything else, get back in touch with us. I think you're good to go, man. James, go find that dream rental, go make it a reality and have some fun. Support your wife while she's toiling away and get yourself set. I think the plan is moving on. It's really awesome. So I would go do it.
Well, thank you so much. It does make me feel a lot better.
Excellent.
And I'm glad to have another set of eyes on it.
Got a financial question? Just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We are answering financial questions from all of you. Just get in touch with us at JillOnMoney.com if you've got one. Let's go to Tony from California. Hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jill. Thanks. How are you?
Doing fantastic. What's up? What's going on?
Well, I'm a federal employee with a big decision to make by tomorrow, offer for early retirement.
Oh my gosh. Ay. Okay, let's get this done so we can give them the notice. So Tony, how old are you?
I'm 56.
Okay. The offer is that you have to give by tomorrow. Would it be early retirement and fully vested? Like what are the terms of the early retirement?
Yeah. So under normal retirement, I don't make it until I'm 60. So I would have to work for almost 4 more years to get what I had planned on doing, retiring at 60 and getting the full retirement at that point. But with this early out offer, I can get all of my benefits right now. It's just that my pension will be a little bit smaller because I've had 3.5 less years of service time and a little less income because with inflation, my income would go up a little bit over that time.
What would the pension benefit be today?
My best calculation, because I don't have anything official from the agency, is $23,000 and a little bit more than $23,000 a year.
Okay, $23,000.
And that's the take home to me before any taxes. It's a little higher, but 10% they take out for survivor benefits for my wife.
Okay, how old's your wife?
She's 57.
Is she working full-time also?
She is.
How much does she earn?
She earns between $105,000 and $110,000.
If you were to keep working for those 4 more years, do you have an idea of what the benefit would have been? Like what we're looking at? I mean, I know there's risk for staying. So, but let me just give me the numbers first.
I did a little bit of inflation estimates and it would be, the take home to me would be just under $30,000. So it's between $6,500 and $7,000 difference per year.
Okay. And your wife is going to continue working. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And if you take this offer, would you turn around and go get another job?
Probably, yeah. I would probably take the summer off because I haven't had a summer off in decades.
Oh man,
and I have a
sounds dreamy
child that is a junior in high school, so I would enjoy that last bit of time when they're in the house. And then in the fall, I would look for basically a part-time job.
So let's talk about how much money you have saved so far. So we know about the pension. So you take the money today, it's 23 grand. You wait till 60, if you make it till 60, because you could get blown out, obviously, right? And that would be 30 grand. Okay. So what have you guys saved?
Yeah. One more thing I'd add, though, I get what's called the special retirement supplement because I would have retired before I'm 62, which is the first age you collect Social Security.
Yeah.
And that's another just over $15,000 a year that I would get. So
That's so interesting. So you would get that if you waited till 60, you'd only get it for 2 years. But
Yes.
Now taking it, you'd get that 15 grand a year until 62.
Yep. Starting next year, there's an income limitation that's around 24,000, and I would have already made that by the time I separate at the end of May. So I don't think I'd get any of that this year, but then I'd get it starting next year at 57 in the year of 57. So.
Okay. But it's not income tested for your overall income. It's just your income tested for the federal pension, right?
If I went and got another job and I made more than 24,000, then that would erode away at that supplement. And if it got to about 60,000, then I wouldn't get any supplement. So
any job, not just a government job.
Right. Yeah.
Boy, that's weird. For a government who says they want everyone to work, they really don't want to incent you to work.
No.
It's freaking weird.
So I'd probably get a part-time job up to about 25,000 a year. And unless I got a great offer and then I would take the extra money and just give
I understand that. I understand that. Now let's go into savings.
Okay.
What do you got?
So I've done, I think, a pretty good job. I've saved up just under 1.5 million.
Ooh, is that all in retirement accounts?
Just about. Yeah, it's 1.33 is in my traditional 401k. Mm-hmm. Just over 150,000 is in a Roth IRA, and then there's just between $10,000 and $11,000 in cash.
Okay. What about money for this junior in high school who's going to need your help learning how to tap kegs and anything else that you can help?
We've saved about $61,000 so far. And it's not everything that we'll need, presuming, of course. But we do get some assistance from our state. The child, unfortunately, has a minor, non-threatening kind of health issue. But because of that, the state's going to get some tuition assistance.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to help.
Okay. As long as you go to school in California. No. Oh, anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's it? Just one kid?
Yeah.
Okay. What about your home? How much would you guess that it's worth?
I guess it's worth around $550,000.
And you have an outstanding mortgage on it?
I do. It's just about $45,000 left, and it's
it?
Yeah, it's due to pay off. We've had it for over 20 years. It's due to pay off in the spring of 2029.
Let me ask you about the spending that you're doing right now, just including the home, because I know it'll get paid off, in 4 years. But what do you reckon you spend on a monthly basis?
Yeah, well, let me go to the yearly. So my take-home pay is about $55,000.
Okay.
And so then, my healthcare benefit is taken out of my gross. So if in retirement, I have to pay that on top of that, and that's another $8,000. So it's about $63,000 there. Mm-hmm. And then, with taxes on that, it'd probably be like I'd need to bring in $80,000 to get the 63 net.
Okay.
Just my side of the coin.
But what do you mean? How are we doing your side without your wife?
Well, so my wife takes care of a bunch of other expenses. So we have an additional house that
you left that out. Where's the other house?
You didn't ask yet.
Oh, geez. All right. So second home.
Yeah. So she purchased that before we got hitched, and we've kept it, and she's almost done paying that.
Is that rental property?
No, it was for 15, 20 years. And then it got to the point that we wanted to use it. So we stopped having renters. It was right around COVID time. And now we don't have any rent coming in, but she's almost done paying it off. The mortgage is really low. It's only like $600 a month.
How much is it worth?
I think that one's worth around $400, maybe $450.
But you're keeping it. We're not selling this.
Yeah, we're going to sell the house we're in now and then move up there. So this primary residence would get sold. We probably net about $500,000 in profit, and then we get to keep all that because it's our primary residence as married filing jointly.
Of course. We'll get back to Tony in just a minute. You're listening to Jill on Money.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's Jill on Money, the program that tries to help you make better, maybe less bad, or less confusing financial decisions. If you feel like you're a little bit at sea with everything that's been going on, don't carry that alone. Both Mark and I are certified financial planners, and we'd like to help you understand what's going on and really help you get through this period of time so you feel less panicky and a little more in control. Just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us that note, and if you would like to join us live, check the box. That will be the clue that Mark gets back in touch with you, and we'll be happy to get you on the air live with us. It's really so much better when you come on the air. We can ask all those good follow-up questions. Right now, let's get back to Tony, who's on the line from California. Can you just do your whole spending together, like what you think you spend either monthly or annually? Like, what do you think the number is? I'm just looking at your own, like your long-term retirement together.
Yeah, so I don't have that exactly calculated out.
That's okay. You don't have to. I'm giving you like a guess.
Yeah, I'd say it's together. It's about $10,000 a month.
Dude, I wrote down 10K.
The assets that you told us before, the million plus and then the Roth, is that just on your savings or is that both of you?
No, that's just on mine.
Oh my God. Where's your wife?
So she has she has 1.15 million. Oh and that is 700 in a brokerage, 360 in a traditional 401k, 33 in a Roth.
Okay.
And 50,
can I just be clear?
Cash.
I'm so done with this.
Cash.
This is so awesome. This is amazing. You guys are in great shape. All right. So here's the thing.
The whole mine, hers and mine.
I know that's
throwing me off.
It's crazy. Me too.
Sorry about that. This is how
okay.
you
run your
like
lives
30,
this way.
We were 35 when we got married. We already had
cool.
Individual things going on. We just kind of kept things separate, but we're totally together.
Okay, and you like her, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I have to ask you, Tony. You ready to call it quits?
I would have liked to stay longer.
Yes.
I'm not burnt out. I do have a pretty challenging job, but I'm not burnt out. I would have liked to have stayed longer. It just kind of, increased the savings cushion and contributed more to my work, which I love.
Yep.
But this seems like a bird in the hand offer that I should seriously consider because I'm worried about the federal retirement package changing.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
In the next year.
So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like the risk return here. Okay. The risk reward and under different conditions, if there was not an administration that was, hell bent on slashing and so there's two risks. One is you lose your job. And the second is that the pension changes. Right? The actual pension changes.
Yep.
It's unlikely that they change the pension, but it is certainly possible. So I am inclined, just given everything you've laid out for us, you've got plenty of money. You will have that additional $500,000 when you sell your primary, moving into that second home. You will have tons of ability to go out and, float your $10,000 or even if it's $12,000 a month lifestyle because you'll have your pension, you'll have the special supplement, you'll have your wife working, you'll have part-time income, and eventually you'll both have Social Security. So if it's me, when CBS comes knocking on my door and says, you want out? And I'm you, I'd say, I'm done. I'm done. And then it's less of a financial issue for you because you have so much money saved. There are some people who really had concerns about going early, but you're so close to the end anyway, you can't outlast this administration on your timetable, right? You were going to do 60 anyway.
Right.
So, Mark, do you agree or disagree?
Oh, 100%. And we're only talking about a difference of $6,000 or $7,000 a year. Not going to make or break your financial life.
Not at all. So I think for you, Tony, and your wife and your great junior in high school, I take the money. I say, thank you very much. I make sure I have everything in writing as much as I possibly can. And go get yourself your job for next year. And it's a weird thing. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough that many of the people we've spoken to who are federal employees are not people who wanted to retire early. For all this talk about, federal workers, they don't do this, they don't do that. They're like hardworking people who have a mission and a value system that has rewarded all of us as citizens. So I am sorry this is happening to you, but I am happy that you can make this choice to basically go on and, start writing your next chapter. How does that sound?
It sounds great. That was my initial conclusion in looking at my numbers, and I was hoping that you two would confirm.
We do, and I guess the only other thing is, just make sure you've got all your ducks in a row. You're going to have time now to do all that estate planning and make sure you got all that done and get your kid into the right college and enjoy whatever comes next. I'm really sorry that it's happening to you, but I'm glad you can make this decision.
Yeah, great. There's one more thing, and that is it comes with a $25,000 severance bonus.
Thank you.
So that'll just help me get through this year before I have to start, pulling out of the 401k.
That sounds great.
Yeah, so I think the numbers add up, and it's not ideal, but I think I can make it work relatively easily without a lot of financial risk, and I think I'm going to go for it.
All right, go for it. We're rooting you on, and as soon as you give the notice, you can screenshot it and send it to us. We will not post it, but we thank you so much for sharing the story, and we wish you the very best. If you need some assistance just getting through this crazy period of time, so much news, so many gyrations in the markets, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, which is always in the upper right-hand corner wherever you navigate on the website, and write us a note. If you'd like to join us live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. It's the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we are here trying to help you make sense of all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world. And if you've got a question, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Just click the Contact Us button and write us a note. And if you'd like to join us live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. Now, while you're on the website, I want to tell you there's a lot of stuff that's there, including links to our two other programs, our podcasts, Jill on Money and Money Watch, as well as videos. I've been on the air a ton at CBS News, so you might want to check out all the stuff that's been going on there. And also the blog section, where I'm trying to give you a little bit more of a deep dive so that you can understand what's going on in the economy, and more importantly, perhaps, how it might impact your life. So everything is at JillOnMoney.com. Before we finish the program, let's get to a question from Tim, who writes, do you think the price increases for imported products will lead domestic producers to take advantage of the opportunity and raise their prices as well? The real issue here, Tim, is that so many domestic producers have inputs to what they produce that comes from abroad. So even if you're putting together something that seems like it's a made in America product, often the things that go into it come from another place. Overall, what we know is that tariffs do tend to lead to higher prices. We don't know by how much. I really don't think the inflation rate is going back up to the worst times of the post-pandemic reopening, like the summer of 2022, but we could see the consumer price index go from, say, below 3% to more like 4%. But all this is predicated on what tariffs remain in place, what the retaliation is that is in place, and for how long. It's really just such a fluid situation. I know it's hard to make sense of it, but we are here to help you along the way. If you need a little hand-holding, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Okay, that's it. That is the program. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and king of all things web. We always ask you to try to do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.